True creepy story. A few weeks ago we went on a trip to our house in the mountains. There have been some previous creepy and paranormal things that have happened here, but nothing compared to what happened on this trip. This house, unlike most houses, has stairs that lead downwards instead of upwards, and there are 4 floors. Me and my 7 cousins, who are all under 13, were on the bottom floor. The bottom floor only has 2 rooms. One of them is locked for a reason which only our grandfather knew, but he passed away, and the other room was the room we were playing in. We were all sitting down on the carpet where a simple debate turned into an argument between my cousin and my sister. We were trying to change the topic when suddenly we heard a loud scratch on our door. We all sprung up to our feet and started panicking, but the thought of leaving the room never really crossed our minds as we all sat back down and came to the conclusion that we were hearing things. We went back to normal quickly, and my sister and my cousin forgave each other. A few minutes later, my sister noticed that there was water flowing out from under the bathroom door, so our oldest cousin went to check it out. It turned out to just be an overflowing sink, so she unclogged the sink and began to clean the water with the bathroom towel. But the creepy thing that we didn't realize at that time was that we had just entered the house and nobody had used that bathroom yet. We had just thought somebody may have left the sink on. Our youngest cousin is only 3 and is completely deaf, and we were responsible of taking care of him. He wasn't sitting with us on the carpet, instead he was sitting in the middle of the bed. We had decided to play truth or dare, and our oldest cousin had just finished cleaning, so she sat down and joined us. We were all sitting in a circle around the carpet, and I was faced towards our toddler cousin. During the game, I had realized that he was constantly staring at this eerie mirror on the closet. I looked at the mirror myself but couldn't see anything, so I had just ignored it. My turn for truth or dare came and I picked truth. While they were thinking of a question to ask me, I had looked up at our toddler cousin who was making strange noises. I saw him frantically looking at the mirror and back towards us. He can't speak, but it was clear that he was trying to communicate with us. He quickly scurried off of the bed and sat down right next to me. His bottom lip was quivering, and once I looked in his eyes, I could see the fear inside of him, and chills shot down my spine. The whole room went silent. He began to cry and left the room. We looked in the mirror and couldn't see anything. I really wanted to leave the room, but none of my other cousins wanted to, so I didn't want to look like a chicken and stayed. We stopped playing truth or dare and instead started discussing what may have happened, when suddenly the door jolted open, and we all screamed at the top of our lungs but realized that it was just our toddler cousin who opened the door. As soon as we calmed down, his face began to turn angry as he put his finger onto his lip. "Shh" came out of his mouth. All of us got freaked out, but our oldest cousin told all of us to calm down as she picked up our toddler cousin and placed him onto the bed. Then, our oldest cousin sat back down with us and explained that he could have learnt this from his mother, and it was a coincidence that he said it at the same time we screamed. She also said, just because he's deaf doesn't mean he can't learn things. But something I had only realized later was that he couldn't have learnt noises if he can't hear. But stupidly from us, we didn't realize that early enough, and we continued to discuss the mirror thing. While we were doing that, I looked at our toddler cousin who was wearing a frown. While I was looking at him, I was unaware of anything that was going on around me, almost as if I was deaf as well. My sister then got up from the carpet and tugged at my shoulder, and I quickly came back to my senses. I told them what had happened and said that I wanted to leave the room, but nobody else wanted to. I didn't want to go alone, so I went to go sit back down. But as I was about to take a seat, we heard a loud banging coming from the locked room next door. We all screamed and got up from the carpet. We began panicking and decided to leave the room, but before we left, we realized that we had to bring our toddler cousin. We searched for him, but he was nowhere to be found, not even in the bathroom. The banging on the room next door grew louder and louder, so we decided to stop looking and ran upstairs as fast as we could. The second oldest cousin broke his elbow on the way up. Once we reached the top floor, we saw that our toddler cousin was with his mom the whole time. That meant that he never returned to our room once he left, and that toddler who returned wasn't our cousin, it was something else. My uncle asked what all the ruckus we were making downstairs, but as he asked, he saw that his son, our second oldest cousin, was holding his elbow while crying, so he took him to his wife, who was a bone doctor. We then told the whole family the story, and my grandmother decided to put the house up for sale. My grandmother never liked the house and could never get any sleep in it because whenever she asked our grandfather why he locked the door, he would just hug her and kiss her on the head and leave. The more I think about it, the more scared I get.